we have our idea. Let's go. Blank project. Adjust the mic. We have just begun. Tonight has to begin somewhere. It could also end at any moment because it is the volatile nature of live. You never know what's going to happen. Although there's things that are more likely to happen than others that are somewhat predictable. But yeah, you could literally make the most random number from any moment if you wanted to. If you were like looking for cryptography input. Right, anyway. Let's just make a drum kit quickly. Drum rack. I've still not really tried drum sampler yet. It's supposed to be good. It's also a bit confusing how... Oh, it's one thing I wanted to try do. Make a default preset. Yeah, so default preset. I actually want to make this a low pass and a high pass. So we would do... yeah, so 2 can be a low pass when it's not turned on. And we already have the high pass there, which can be a nice roll off. So this would be my new. Might as well change this as well, but it'd be sort of there. Don't know why that defaults to 0.71, but it does. But it'll be turned off. And that is now going to. See, you can even turn it over sampling now. Hi Jacob, what do I use utility for? Utility is really useful. I now have it in every single track by default. It's just loads. Every time I make a track, it has that in it. Mainly for the gain. So if I want to do level automation, you know, like to sort of like on a snare roll or something to make it increase in loudness, I would use the gain here. I would automate this gain rather than the track channel level, because the reason why you want to do that is so that when you finally get to the mixing stage at the end, when you're mixing the track and you getting elements to blend, you've got this final control here. So you don't really want to automate that. You can do, but I try not to use that. I try to use this. So you've always got that core final adjustment kind of level. And it's also good for decreasing width, because a lot of things are too wide. I think presets are sold on and chosen even on how wide they are, and most of them do have like reverb on and stuff, and sometimes you want no width at all for to make a contrast between wide and narrow, which is how you get the stereo effects. You know, go from mono to wide is like, whoa, it's suddenly wide. Yeah, and you can even just do the bass mono thing, but yeah, it's mainly for that, and it doesn't use like any resources at all to have this in a track. So you might as well have one in there by default. It doesn't use anything. Even if you turn it off, it doesn't use anything, because these are just like basic calculations, you know, that the processor has to do, especially gain. Width is 2 stereo signals, a left and right, and then summed together the more you turn it down. And I think when you turn it up, it increases the difference between left and right, and so it just sounds wider, and it will kind of probably turn down the similarities, you know, the mono signal and turn up the differences between left and right. Just a guess, because that's how mid side works. But you can actually turn it into mid side mode, which works slightly differently. But anyway, that's not what you asked. Went off on one there, Jacob, innit? Aiden, how you doing? It's good for automating game. Yeah, you basically said it. Yeah, he's nice and compact and succinct. You nailed it there, Aiden. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you don't want to use Ableton like a traditional studio. Although it helps if you've ever been in a traditional studio, see how that works. But modern production doesn't require you to use those nice big faders anymore, like in an old studio. I mean, I do have a 20-year-old mixing console. It's like a dead tiny little thing. A few of the channels are broke on it. I just use it to route from the out of my sound card back into it, so I can monitor what's playing on YouTube, because it's not that easy to do internally. It's actually really there's virtual audio cable, but it has its own problems. And this mixer, it's just amazing how much energy the mixer uses up as well when it's turned on. It's like 40 watts or something, or 40 watts, 60 watts, something crazy for something I don't use other than to just monitor a signal. So it's like a calculated thing. If I'm going to turn it on, I'm like, it's going to pump out some heat, which might be good at this time of year, but it's not on at the moment. It doesn't need to be on. I like minimal setups which don't require external hardware. Mr. G, early. Is it early? No, it's not early. You're early. I don't know what you mean, actually. I don't know why it says that symbol there. Look, that I assume that's a smiley that doesn't appear on the computer. And if so, TikTok needs to fix that. TikTok Studio needs a set of smileys, doesn't it? I mean, it has got these like hearts here, hasn't it? So you're a spicy mum. The more neuro spicy mums you know, the better your life will be. Mr. G, thanks for liking. Lorenzo Ni. Any pro tip for Ableton using Ableton return tracks? Ooh, you didn't write that. So there's a mix. Years ago I stopped using the return tracks because you can actually remove them completely. You just go to delete and the go, and then the sends disappear on all the tracks. And then now if I wanted to reverb on any track, I would just add a reverb. Bearing in mind I had spare processor power to do that, and it meant that I could have total control over the sound on every channel, especially for sidechaining. Then, and also for bouncing stems. So if it's bouncing stems would be dead easy, and you just bounce a stem and it would sound exactly the same what you hear when you solo the channel. But then a way more experienced audio engineer than me on Twitter, but then it became X, was just saying in his tweets that, and I challenged him on it. I said, "Oh, you should just use your sends properly or whatever, your effect sends." I'm like, "Well, why would you do that?" Like, he says, "Well, why wouldn't you?" And I was like, and that made me think, like, fucking hell, like. And I have since learned that because you kind of want to like the idea of sharing a space, so all your instruments are all in one space. You might even use 2 or 3 different reverbs to lay reverbs, like a room reverb for short reflections, and then a bit of a longer one. And I don't know what this looks like, what this would look like, this imaginary room or hall, where it's like a room to begin with and then opens up into a hall. It's weird, but if it sounds good, and even if it sounds more natural, because obviously you're doing it all artificially, then it works. So yeah, the drawback with using returns is if you want to do, if you're side chaining everything, like literally, so if you've got your drum track and your kick is triggering a side chain on everything else, so Daft Punk kind of like everything goes silent when the kick occurs. If there's a reverb on the reverb bus, if things are being sent to the reverb bus, that is not going to duck. That is not going to be part of the sidechain ducking when the kick occurs. So there's a way to solve it. You just put the same duck, the same sidechain, just on the reverb and on whatever returns, but there's a delay. There's like a few samples, a few milliseconds delay sometimes between the sound that occurs in the returns versus where it's coming from. There's like a doubling effect. So if you have a sidechain, it won't trigger in time to duck, but it doesn't really matter so much for reverb though, because that's quite a slow effect anyway. Yeah, I mean, I do use reverb sense, but I also make sure there's a sidechain on there. It usually works. It usually sounds okay. And in Ableton, you can bounce. Now, I don't think you used to be able to do it, but you can bounce stems with the return track added on at the end. Maybe you could always do it. I'm not sure. But does that answer you? Does that answer your question, Lorenzo? Because I can't really give pro tips because I'm always learning. I can tell you what I've seen other pros come up with. Most of my effects go in my channels, and don't I might have some reverb on a return track and then duck it, but that's it. Most of my effecting will be done in the track. Right. I mean, you can turn them down. You just expand it like that and then turn the volume down. And obviously you can send, when you send to the, with that setting there, when you send to your return, when you send the signal to it, you can just send less of it. But yeah, it could be that. Oh, also you have to make sure when you've got returns going, like obviously it comes with the default template in Ableton, comes with 2 effects returns. One's got reverb, one's got delay, and they're both turned to 100% wet. So if you make your own, you want to make sure, because when you add a reverb, you want to make sure it's turned to 100% wet, because I think if you add a reverb to or any effect here, if it's not 100% wet, you'll have double the dry signal that you send. So if you send to it, you'll hear it increase the dry volume as well. That might be why it's getting loud. Maybe the 8 and... Alright, Pro Tools, yeah. I've never used Pro Tools. It's cool that it's still going, because that's like it's still a standard, because it talks to all those big desks, doesn't it? Yeah, Pro Tools. I've never actually used it. I don't know if when I was in college, you could get a free version, but you needed all the hardware to use it. That's cool. It's still going Pro Tools. Like it must be if you're used to it. Sure. Thought of choice. Yeah. Yeah, so what hardware do you need? Do you need like outboard digital analog converters, or sound card as I call it, that are like specific to Pro Tools? And does it use the CPU for effects, or does it have its like effects card thing? Because I remember there was an external effects things that use the processor power not of your PC, but of your of like a card. It's like old tech now, but it takes the weight off your processor. But processors are fast enough now, I guess, to actually the DSP, yeah, digital signal processor. But that was like 10, 20 years ago, so I guess it's moved. You probably don't need an external one as much these days. Because like flat phasers and flanges and compressors, they don't use that much, do they? They don't use like loads. They still exist. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna get a kick going. And I'm gonna have to use EXO because there's nothing else like it. Well, there is actually, but EXO. It's quick. ITB. Oh, what's ITB? I've never heard of that. In the box. Right, gotcha. So I came from Cubase. It wasn't my first, but it was the one that I really like got serious on. But then, Cubase has adopted what's that chain? What does it say chain? Even Cubase adopted a bit of like Ableton's layout with I don't even use it. The session view, where it's like blocks, where you can like have parts and trigger those parts live, which is kind of what live was meant to be for, but I don't use it for that. Have done, and it is actually pretty good way of making music. Make all the parts, make them sound good together, and then play it in at the last moment, and then once you've got it in the sequencer, you can do other stuff like automate the level and the delay echo sends, do it dub style. Live by XLR? No, I haven't tried live. Infinite Beats. From your life favourites moment, what? Capture anything with a field recorder. Well, I think I saw an advert for it. I didn't. I was like, alright. It sounds pretty interesting though. Like, it sounds different. And it's got an app, okay. That might have simplified the track that I made this year, because I went into the shed and recorded loads of just everything that had some kind of resonance that I could hit. So a saw, glass bottles and bits of metal and tools and drawers closing and go try the demo. I will. Thank you, Lorenzo. Yeah. Lorenzo, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I will actually now. Your recommendation. Mario, can you tell me some tips for mixing? Use reference tracks. If you're making genre type of music, kind of, you don't want to overuse references. You don't want to like compare yourself to the best cutting edge drum and bass out there, because you'll it's very easy to get disheartened. I have many times, and I use them sparingly, but just like a genre, kind of standard genre sound track. And if you, if you've already got all your elements, kick, snare, and all your everything that's in the genre, yeah, just go and listen to a few from the genre. Just an overall listen. Don't overanalyze it. But you want your kick and your snare to sound a certain way if it wants to sound like that genre. So yeah, and synths are at a certain level, and some are high passed, and just listen for those elements. And I mean, there's this thing about imitation and emulate. I keep calling it emulation, but it's like imitation or whatever the word is, and I think it's a really good exercise to practice, where you listen to a track from a genre and you try and replicate all the elements from it. And it's not like you're copying it, because you can't copy it anyway. It will never sound the same. Unless you did the exact notes and then it's a cover version. But even if you do a cover version, you're endeavoring to engineer it to sound exactly the same, then you might learn a trick or two along the way. So like doing cover version, or just at least trying to get the kick to sound the same in relation to the bass and the hi-hats. But it's hard. It's reverse engineering, and reverse engineering is hard. I don't know if that's a good tip for mixing, but it helps me. If you like make a track and you finalize it, finish it, and you listen to it alongside your favorite pieces, and you go, oh no, that sounds shit, it's because when you mixed it, you weren't trying to match it at the point of where it matters, when you actually have some control over the sound at the mixing stage. So it's definitely mastering engineers, they use references to configure their ears before they go into a mastering session. But a mixing engineer also should do that as well, because it's like mixing without a plan. Otherwise, you might, yeah. Unless you're like, if you're like a drum and bass head or whatever, and you're listening to D&B every day on the same speakers, then you might not need to do references, because it's all quite fresh in your head every day. But if you don't, or even if you do, you might still just go on YouTube and go a little blast of a bit of Calibre, or a bit of Dillinger, or a bit of Current Value, or a bit of Serum, or a bit of whatever, just to hear where those snares are. But it's really hard to get your snares to sound like someone else's if you've already chosen the sounds. Because sound selection is probably the most important bit. If you choose the good sounds to start with, then it's a lot easier to do the mixing. Working on tonight, I'm gonna make, talking of emulation, someone posted this track last night to me. It's a certain kind of dubstep, and there's not many elements there. It's quite simple and basic, but it's a much loved sound, and it's a recognized sound for the people who know. And I know, I'm one of them, and like, I know this sound. I like the deep dubstep, I think it's called. I've heard it in clubs. It's a UK thing. It's quite meditative. It doesn't try and grab your attention like the usual kind of music that I like to make. It just kind of rolls along, and it's kind of minimal, but there's a quality to the sounds. So yeah, the mid basses have reverb on them. The snare doesn't have reverb on this. The hi-hats do. The snare there is quite acoustic. And I think it just echoed then, so there's some send automation. There's the odd bongo. The hi-hats are like quite high up, and triplets sometimes. I think that's because they're going through a delay. And there's a laser there. I didn't spot that laser before. Boop, boop. And then drum roll and vocal hit. And then a different pattern for the bass. 2 different kinds of basses. So using that information, that's given me an idea of this track, following the rules, or sonic signposts, as Mike Monday would call them, of what this kind of genre, of how to sound like this, how to have the same vibe. I mean, it'll get you part of the way there, trying to get this vibe. There's obviously, you know, the actual structure as well, and how it brings you in and out of places. So yeah, that's how it's like analyze stuff. Not too deep, just analysing the sounds, because you want to get the sound right, don't you, when you're mixing. Making music, whole different thing, but you can learn a lot from the structure from that as well, listening like that. Well, listening to the whole thing, this is something I did in college actually. One very useful thing that I remember is they made us listen to the same track for an hour over and over and over again, and got us to listen and write down and describe each element that you could hear. And it was Teardrop by Massive Attack. And there's the mad thing is that I heard Teardrop by Massive Attack just like 2 days ago, and I noticed something new that I didn't notice before. Yeah, it was mad. All these ideas for mixing, yeah. Mr. G, you missed my bassline live last night. It was nuts. Oh no, it wasn't last night actually. Last night was a bit of a listening sesh and what do you call it? I had to go. It was a bit of a disaster because I had to go. It wasn't a disaster. I mean, if you're on the coastline, you might have had your roof ripped off today, so that would be a bit of a disaster, wouldn't it? Record stuff in your phone and then it'll be dropped in the plugin via the cloud. All right, okay. Do you know what? Madly enough, I have set up a system which does that on my phone. It's semi-automatic. All I have to do is press one button and it will sync to the cloud, then go onto my PC, and then I can just drag it into a project. So I kind of made my own one of them, but it looks like it does other things anyway. It looks like it would intelligently choose useful bits for you. Every sample became a drum pad, right? It'd be mad just going out and recording water, see what it does. Thanks for following, Lorenzo. Pex, you. A lot of mine. Did you suggest that one? Jazz Coolidge. Thanks for following. If you're on YouTube, go to I Am Pex. Try Subterra Vocal. Come on. And you'll guess my refs. VIP vocal edit. Oh, DJ Miz.
Right now in our rock with people. Look in my eye, now you can see the evil. What? This is the top shop sequel. Tight like my grandmother girdle. Tell definitely now we circle. And if you walk, unacceptable. When lyrics of fresh and not recycle. Cause when we touch them we unpredictable. But not like a big vampire. Now the whole world knows that you are a liar. Too much talk, you must be a sucker. Put down the mic and get inquire. But not like a big vampire. Now the whole world knows that you are a liar. Too much talk, you must be a sucker. Put down the mic and get inquire. Hey, some boy, you a dirty disease. Catch up on road when we kill you on street. No matter wait till things go get big. We will left your jump on sound disease. But not like a big vampire. Now the whole world knows that you are a liar. Too much talk, you must be a sucker. Put down the mic and get inquire. But not like a big vampire. Now the whole world knows that you are a liar. Too much talk, you must be a sucker. Put down the mic and get inquire. But not like a big vampire. Now the whole world knows that you are a liar. Too Too much talk, you must be a sucker. Put down the mic and just inquire. Burn out like a big vampire. Now the whole world knows that you a liar. Too much talk, you must be a sucker. Put down the mic and just inquire. Step on a boy, cause you know me no play. Can't shop me if me have no things to say. Real dog, we not in a delay. Say we are chatting.
Milk and Beans. Is that yours? Milk and Beans. Your label. Come on. Come on, Nancy. Inspired, alright. You did say... Oh no, Eon. So, come on. Pex. Eon. Milk and Beans. Where are we? Come on. It's not appearing. Well, something's... What am I missing? Come on. Come in. Oh, right, okay. There we go. Heavy. There's some low thuds. I like the little sounds. Song. Released it, 2 months ago. No, I'm not. Oh, crack. Right. Baby crying.
Run it back like this. This.
Bad sleep.
This.
Come on. Maybe if I whisper.
Run it back like this. This. Run it back like this.
Sounds good, sounds balanced. Didn't master it. Maybe it doesn't need it. just now you've said it, you didn't master it. I'm trying to think, what would I do if someone gave this to me and said, "Can you master it?" I would have to compare it to a reference. I think maybe I'd say 80, maybe 50 hertz sounds a little bit boomy, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you for sure without getting reference and looking at it on the meter. I'd still be guessing then. Sounds good though. To me, it sounds good. It doesn't need anything else. Song structure. So that's another good reason. There's another, like I literally ripped off the song structure because they're all ripped off. The whole genre of whatever genre you're in have like just maybe 2 or 3 structures that are like used in pretty much every single tune that's released or made in that genre. And the last 10% is weird shit that you can still mix. It's still DJ friendly, but they're clearly trying to do something different, but different doesn't always sound good. That was a tough one to learn because I was like, I want to do something different, including the arrangement. I want to do everything different. But there are some things that work so well that is the reason why everyone uses them. Yeah, so I used. I'm literally gonna, if I get these, I'm gonna make a tune like this basically, like a standard deep dubstep tune, right? And I'm gonna, once I've got all the sounds and the bass laid down, I might as well rip off the intro. Only lasts 30 seconds.
We'll go away, but
doesn't have a drum build. Just goes straight in, which goes totally different to all the other dubstep I've been making, where it's just got 3 beats, even just 3 beats. But this does have drum fill. There. It's not like it doesn't have them. It just doesn't have as many as like really hyper dubstep, where it's like trying to screw your face up. Yeah, it took me ages to get good at song structure. The advice that I ignored, which if I didn't ignore, I'd probably be many years ahead, is to use references. So just like literally copy another tune that has a similar vibe, you know. So your tracks kind of like sounds like a dubby dubstep. It's like deep dubstep as well, isn't it? It's kind of like that. Where it's not trying to, it's rolling along. It's not trying to insist too much. It's just there, rolling along. Oh yeah, and 2 second drops. Oh, I learned that from D&B as well. So yeah, in D&B you get 2. Sometimes you get 2 drops, right? One of them it kind of sounds like it can be totally different kind of Dillinger. If you Dillinger tune with a second drop, and back in the day where DJs would more likely play a whole track rather than just the first drop as well. So it's a different time now. But a second drop. Yeah, I've done that. I've tried doing that, and they don't quite work out as well. But if the next D&B tune I'm gonna make is just gonna have 1 drop, because I expect the DJ to mix out of it pretty quickly. No problem, Pex. Yeah, just count bars. Yeah, just like the track I used to do with the, I've forgotten who it was by. It was just someone just sent to me in the chat, and I'm like, I want to use that as a, because it's a tear out kind of arrangement, and the whole thing's only 3 minutes, and it seems to be divided into 3-minute sections. You've got the build lasts a minute. The first drop is 1 minute to 2 minute. It's 1 minute long from one minute in. So the middle, and then the end is I think that was the second drop, but just before the second drop it kind of does a little break. It's only a very short break, and then for the third minute it does a short second drop and then an outro. So you've got barely any of the second drop, barely anything, and it kind of suits this world of shorter attention spans and so many tunes that a DJ's got to get through in a set. You know, they want to be mixing a minute of every tune in an hour, so they do like 60 tunes, and so you don't want to like make really long tunes anymore, I guess. But some artists are still going to make long tunes, and some DJs like me are still going to want to put on a 5-minute tune and play like 3-4 minutes of it, so they can just have a little break and enjoy the music instead of like going, what tune shall I put on next? Or putting, I mean, you go mad as well on making playlists, can't you, when you're DJing? Like, and have it all play, so you're not thinking as much. But then I like to do that thinking live, because you're reading the crowd more, and you might have several options to play what you could play next, and it breaks your brain doing it like that. But yeah, low deep sub meditation, definitely. It's definitely a vibe that, and it's still underground. It's like, it's so underground. I mean, Koki seems to be having some success. Whenever I see a video of Koki doing like, he's doing big rooms. There's no visuals. It's not like a big American show. It's like a big fucking room. There's loads of people in there, and they're all going whoa 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 whoa. I love that, but it still feels underground because it's that deep dubstep sound. And it's mad because I love drum and bass, and I love how drum and bass has gone from so underground to like 20,000 sell out fucking Boomtown, however many people are in that bowl on that stage, massive events, and it's appealed to everyone because it was like, oh, I knew I was on something good. That is quite rewarding. But it doesn't bother me that it's not underground anymore. It still is. People still make the stuff that's like hard, you know, less accessible stuff, but like new, fresh. Hasn't got any 80s samples, like hasn't got any like, they're not bootlegs, they're just like mad basses that no one's heard before. So it's still quite underground. You can still do underground stuff with it, but it feels like dubstep or deep dubstep is underground, and you can't really change that. It's kind of why I kind of still like it a bit. Not it's not kind of why I like it. I just like the sound of it, but also I like it because for that other concept of socially, it's like it's this little hidden away thing, and it's not about the money, it's about the vibe. And I think that's why the what we did this year on the 1st of March, our first WOB 40 event, there wasn't many people there, but everyone who was there was like, the sound system wasn't big either, but it was about the vibe. Everyone there was chill. Everyone there was enjoying all the music. And we're doing another one on February 28th. So if you're anywhere near Wrexham next year in February, get down. I'll see you there. It's just full of madheads, but like good ones. Right, a right diverse bunch we are. Iranian Gospel. Co-host. I've not done this. Will this work? I don't know how to do that, but I thought, that was the vibe was right. Right, let's go back. Iranian Gospel one. Maybe think someone has spiked me. Peck shared live. Apple 9678 followed me. Thank you. You work in St. Paul's? You mean the cathedral? The with the probably an amazing reverb. No way. So you can just go in St. Paul's. Is it free to get in? St. Paul's Cathedral. I just realised that St. Paul's is probably a place in London and not just a cathedral. Rob Peter to pay Paul. Well, the messed up thing is that I had uncles called Peter and Paul, and Paul, yeah, I think some of them, I didn't really know them that well, but you could make up that kind of story about them and it'd be true. No way. Oh, wow. It's mad London. London's a crazy place. Like, Manchester's cool. I love, I'm from south of Manchester, and then moved to Manchester. But London's something else. It's like the history there, isn't it? It feels like you're living in the history. It's real and you can walk around it. Gerber or Gerber. Gerber. I reckon it's Gerber. EXO by Excellent Audio. It's wicked. I was really let down by the newest version of Ableton. They said they'd revamped the browser, and one of the reasons why I paid for the upgrade is because it said it had this sounds. It would find sounds that sound similar, and you could just swap them out. Like, you just press a button here, and you press this button, and it will swap it for a sample that sounds similar. So if you were like, it doesn't quite work, that I can press this button, and it will put something else in its place. But it's shit. It doesn't scan all your samples on your hard drive. So how can it know? How can it has its own scanned samples that it knows, but it doesn't go beyond those. It's really shit. So yeah, this one does though, because if you pick a sound here, like that, you can go across here, and it kind of gives similar tunings at least, possibly similar lengths. So it's not like a super intelligent kind of thing. It's just doing it off easy parameters. But I have thought about this and how AI could actually. I don't really want to use AI for much. I've tried it. It's really cool, but I think it would help some parts of music making for me. I think one of them was sample selection. There's probably lots of kicks that sound like this that it doesn't know sound like that are dotted all around here. Ewan, it is called EXO by XLN Audio. EXO. 2 letters, EXO. And I've been made aware that there are there is an alternative as well called Atlas, and they look like they do the same thing. Thanks, Gerber, for following. Right, so we've got our kicks. I don't want to put too many kicks in the drum rack at a time. We can always swap them later. So you need a nice acoustic snare now, which is a bit harder to come by. In fact, see, I'm subscribed at the moment to Loop Cloud, so let's go in. Owen. Yeah, Owen, Ian, and John do all have the same origin. My name's John, so we've got the same name, but well, we don't. But I mean, it's come from the same place. Juan, Ian. Yeah, it's mad. I love etymology. It's never-ending fascination. Right, so let's see if we can get ourselves. Let's go and buy. Let's go and buy a nice acoustic snare. I think I did. I think I already did. Actually, I already did this. Why does it keep going to that window? That's super annoying. What is going on there? All right, okay. Collections, beats. Okay. I don't know why it wants to do on loop. That's really. Dink. Dink. Okay, let's pull that in because I've already bought that one, so drag that in. And then let's go to search, drum, snare, one shot. Yeah, I don't know if, so Loop Cloud, that I like them better than Splice because they have, if you stop subscribing to them, they still let you listen to sounds, where Splice like cut you off. I could be wrong because I've not used Splice for ages. Johannes, no way. Huh. But I think Splice it might have more tags, but I'll type acoustic anyway. Oh, has it crashed? Oh, don't crash, come on. Acoustic, okay, not guitar. No, that's lame, come on. I shouldn't say that really, should I? So I'm going to have to go through. This is as much as I can narrow it down. I can do one shots, and then there's no point going into genres because I've just got to go through them, haven't I? Buying this, don't keep telling me this stuff. See, none of these are sounds that I don't already have, probably. Like, I've got a million snares. But I just want to see if there's one really nice. That's good. But it's it's good not for now. I don't need it now, but I'll save it for later. Clap. Crispy one, yeah. I'm working up to making some D&B again. Soon. I don't know how soon. I did finally get around to doing that bassline one, so it will happen. Tech House. It's a collection. Beats. I'm new to using this. I'm trying to use up all my credits before it renews again. I don't know if I'll renew it, but it is really useful. And it's cheaper than Splice as well, so I feel like I can afford it because of the price it's at. It's only like, it's at £6 for 100 credits. I just think Splice is like $9.99. I'm just like, I'm not paying $9.99 when I've already got a ton of samples on my hard drive that I could just tweak. But I don't know. I'm looking for something specific here right now. It's good for vocals though. That vocal I used in that bassline track was from here, and it was really quick to find it. You know that. I just dropped it. I just chose a few, bought a few, dragged one of them afterwards into my project, chopped it up, and it was the right one. Nice. Whereabouts you playing? That's interesting, isn't it? Garage. I kind of want that because it's unusual. I do actually have 2 real snare drums. I really should set them up, shouldn't I? The only time I can record them though is like in the day. But all I've got, you know, I'm very busy in the day, but I could just take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes to set the mic up. And the next 5 minutes of going ding, 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 putting the microphone in different places, ding, 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 ding. But I don't know how to tune a snare. Kian, this one I'm using on the screen at the moment is, that's got a nice ring, hasn't it? This is Loop Cloud's Windows app, so it's Loop Cloud, and I just got some credits to buy samples, and so they have a Windows app. You don't have to use the Windows app. Like, I didn't want to use it, but it has sped things up for me just a little bit because I can drag straight from it into Ableton Drum Rack, which is really useful. Tactical Ginger, thanks for following me. I had to say it like that for some reason. That's got nice rings on it as well, like doing. Sounds like I don't know whether to get it though. I'll just add it to beats. That sounds good. Owen, thank you for following. Ding. Right, I've got I'm don't want to spend too much time doing this because it's how you get kind of bogged down and not actually making any music, right? Where have they gone? Get more results. I've added my collections, my beats. Where are the ones that I've just made? Oh, okay, right. So let's listen again. Yeah, they all sound fat. So I'm going to buy them. I think you can like buy them all at once. Wait, no. Downloading background. You do not own them. No shit. Buy them. I should get Loop Cloud to give me like a free trial or something. So now what? I download them, don't I? Why can't I download them? I'm sure. Wait, where's that thing on that said I could download them? Alright. I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to drag all of them. Oh, it works. Yeah, look, see that? That was amazing. Right. And then add some hi-hats, which I've already downloaded. Crash. Everyone needs a crash. Sometimes. Now what's happened? Well, it's disappeared again. That's just me, actually. Just moaning in the clouds. A cloud, yeah. Literally loop cloud. That's another decent one. I don't want too many. I usually only do 4 at once. Why am I doing more? I haven't played with these ones yet, that's why. Clap. Right, I'll do. I've got all my sounds for now. I might go back into EXO later. I don't usually do that many. I usually only do 16. Just so you can see all in one there. Anyway, it's good. Let's put a part in and start smacking the keys. So I'm going to go to the reference again. It was triplets, but I might not do triplets. Maybe I will. Triplet good. Sounded better before, didn't it? See, it's already sounded if it's not never going to sound the same, even though you'd like trying to copy it. Yeah. I guess it's easy when you see someone else do it, because I was told the information very early on in my music. Can you call it a career? I want to call it a career. My music, you know, movement. I wanted to, yeah, I was given the information, use references, but that's kind of useless on its own, isn't it? Use references. What do you mean? Oh, just listen to a piece of music, and you can like take ideas from it. Like, okay, that's kind of what I'm doing anyway. Yeah, it needed to be really, really specific advice for me. Can't just guess something like that. They all meant well, but they didn't know how to actually. I think some things need, yeah, demonstrating, don't they? Okay, I'm kind of happy with these already. Just to begin with, let's just turn them down a bit. Because they were a bit loud. Oops. All of those a bit quieter. Great. Next was, do you know, just to make life complicated, they've done the kick and the snare dry, and then these are all just in a nice little reverb or something. So it's kind of like a, well, I can either group them now and put it through a reverb or wait till the mixing. It is kind of like part of the effect. Or I can have the kick and the snare on a separate track, which is another way of doing it. Yeah, and that's quite easy to do actually. So duplicate that. Put kick, snare, and then put metal. Don't know, I've never called it metal before, but that's what it is. And then we just easily go boom, get rid of them, and go in here and go get rid of all these and go boom. And then put a, let's just put a hybrid on it and go for a short plate. Buff. Doesn't think it doesn't need all this. So it's just a little bit there. Thanks for sharing, user 122582. Thank you. So we've got a, let's do, well, should we keep, I did come up with a drumming a color convention, right? So high drums are, it always changes, just different shades of blue. I don't know, doesn't really matter, does it? I'll probably just wasted time doing this because it'll be different later on anyway. Oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't answer Kian's. How much did it cost? It's like $5.99 a month. And I forgot to cancel it after the trial because they only give you 2 weeks. It's not enough to try it out. Even doing live streams every night wasn't enough. Okay, next thing is to come up with a bass that's so.
We go way back, long time ago, see?
Well, what? Keep it simple is the rule, I guess, when it comes to these basses. I do like. Whoa. Don't know what makes that. So I'm going to try a few things. And then I should probably go to bed like a wise man. Not stay up and burn burn tomorrow. There. Whoa, 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 whoa. From me. Basic shapes. So I'm using the same rhythm as that last track. I don't really want to do that. Mr. Harves. All good, thanks. What's up? Can I mod source from something I've still not done yet is use the noise oscillator to change the filter, but we'll put a sine wave in there. Sine. Oh yeah. It's not there. We can make a C4 sine, can't we? Quite easily. Go in here. Generate tone. 44. It's mono. 24 bits. Yeah, 440 is like a. Oh, it said concert A. Concert A. Why hasn't it got just a. Okay, we're gonna have to look this up. C in the. C4. C, okay, C4 in hertz. 261 point. Very specific, but let's do it. Ten seconds. We don't really need 10 seconds. We just need one full cycle. So, but let's do 2 seconds, and then yeah, it fades in, so we don't want that. Get all that. Get all this muck out of the way, and then go from the 0 point. I'll only have to do this once. It feels like I'm labouring for nothing, but no, it's for good. It's for a good cause. Get rid of that. Why does it look irregular already? It's because of the. Some weird things going on here. So it should end there, shouldn't it? But it's doing something strange to my wave. Ah, that's more like it, right? So let's try from here instead. Bang. No? I remember this. Fucking up my waves last time. Let's just save it. Is it doing an auto fading? Is that what it's doing? So that's like not clicking. Which I want it to. Edit preferences. Smooth cut and delete boundaries. Is that what it means? I think it sounds like it. It didn't used to do this on this program. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I want to be in control of the wave, which most people don't. That's why they've added that in. But... So that's one sample down. It starts slightly down and it ends I've already got too much information here. Just delete all this and zoom in again. It starts down and it ends. The last sample is almost on the line. It might have a harmonics, but it's okay. Let's get rid of that. Right, okay, I'm happy with that. That's 1, 2 cycles. It might sound weird. Save as. Gotta find the right documents. What's it gonna be in? What's it even called? Expert, serum presets, noises. Darabasta. C4. Okay. This will be worth it. This will be worth it. Resolution 24 bits. No dithering. Absolutely no dithering. Kiddy, thanks for following. We have to refresh. Rescan folders and it should appear. C4 sign. Yay. Mod source. Oh, it's already on. That's what it sounds like. So there's an extra FM source in Serum. Kiddie app. This is Ableton, and I'm running a VST plugin called Serum, my favourite synth. Most used synth. It is a wavetable, yeah, it's a wavetable based synth, yeah. It has 2 wavetable oscillators, and you can resample and stuff. The wavetable editor looks like this. On this particular wavetable, there's 7 positions, I think. There's probably a better name. 7 snap. What's it called? 7 of them. How would I go about learning to use Ableton? I get asked this, and I'm trying to improve what I tell people each time. But so far, it's basically just try and just load a drum kit, put a kick snare down, put some like little drum pattern down, repeat, loop it. You'll learn how to loop a part, and then just load up some bass sound, put bass underneath it, and yeah, and then if you want to do more advanced stuff, like listen to your favorite piece of music and try and reverse engineer it. It doesn't have to sound like it, but you can just get some basic ideas, and it gets you to keenly listen to your favorite music, to see how it's made, see what makes it good as it sounds, like the drum patterns they use and the basses. Like, I'm always trying to reverse engineer basses, because I have no idea how. I mean, I have some ideas sometimes of how basses of like Dillinger basses are made and stuff. But yeah, it's just fun playing around. Also, other bits of advice that have stuck out, and I said I would write them down because I like little one-liners, but make funny music, just make clown music, just make joke music. Don't do it too seriously. Just have fun. YouTube Spencer. What's that, Tristan? James, you learn basic music theory as well. James, that is solid advice. Yeah. I still call on the music theory that I learned when I did piano and a little bit when I did guitar. I only did piano for like a year or two or something. But yeah, it's set up a foundational knowledge for me of music theory. It takes me a while to figure things out, but it's better than not having it. I can. There's the logic of, if you know what key you are writing a piece of music in, once you know that, like if you've just randomly recorded one bass part and you're like, oh, what, write another part to go with this, a string part or a piano part or a synth part. If you know what key you've started the tune in, if you can figure that out, then the next bit, the next sound that you add, it'll be a lot easier, and they'll sound really good together most of the time. Trap drums. Well, I'm sticking at this moment Jesus by Kanye West. Vibes. Thanks for following. And I'm emulating these drums, or imitating, or another word. It's just one little thing I'm doing tonight. But yeah, good shout doing trap drums. I do enjoy doing trap drums. Yes, pecs. Good bit of fiddling, messing around. Endless hours messing around. Tweaking. You might not make any music one night. You might just see how you can shape a bass sound for hours. But these days I like to have a kind of limit to that, so that I can get as close as I can within a period of time. So I'm not doing too much, and then you write more music that way. It's a totally different mindset. What application do you use to edit? You can edit them in Serum, like right here. Let me show you. My things aren't loaded up. One sec. Have to have my script loaded for this. Is it this one? Did I? No. I think I have to do that and then press it. And it'll put a Serum track in for me. It doesn't work anymore. Why doesn't it fucking work? Alright, here we go. It's loading. There we go. Right, so altering wavetable within Ableton. There's your sine wave. That's what it looks like now. If I can either draw like that, or I think there's a free. I thought there was I thought you could just free draw. You probably can, and I've forgotten how to do it because I don't usually use this feature. So there's that way of doing it, or there's the changing you have harmonics here. The harmonics series, I believe it's called. So you have the fundamental. Let's go back to a sine wave again. How do I change this to a sine wave? I know there's an easy way of doing it. We can just manually do it like this, right? So I don't know why that's any sound there. Wait, if we zoom out. Oh yeah, that's why. That's like a lot of harmonics that you can control. There's still some that are missing. Can't hear them. Anyway, zoom back in. So sine wave. I believe this is an octave above the first one, which is why it's coloured grey there, light grey. It sounds like it. We can check this. we can check that I've. So 200 hertz, 400, yep. And then we've got the fourth bin, which is another octave higher, so that should be at 800. Yeah, there we go, 800. And then this would be at 1600. Yeah. And then this would be at 3200. And it sounds like an organ. Welcome to the place of organs. It sounds like it should be a big reverb in here somewhere. Let's just do it. I know. What kind of live stream is this? You know, when you can't just put reverb on everything. Where's the reverb? If I could find it really quick, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I just want the stock reverb because I don't want to be all fancy showing off like shit that's like you don't need. There we go. We're in a hall now. I can't play back fugue, whatever it's called. But yeah. Now we've got these other harmonics. This is, I don't know where this one is. Let's just zero these back. Oops. This harmonic, I'm trying to guess before I put it in, I'm trying to guess what it might be. It is it the third harmonic? Is that why it is bin 3? Because it's the third harmonic. Well, there's the first clue. It's above the first octave. It's the same as pressing. So this bin 3 is the same as, so if I'm pressing C right now, C4 I think, or C3, and that third harmonic is the same as having a sine wave at an octave above in G. Can you hear it phasing? I'm glad I figured that out. I'm glad I finally gave it the time. Yeah. Oh wow, you're saying stuff here. Wait. Whoa, I missed loads. Wayne, thanks for following. I did answer your question, thank Spencer. I answered it ages ago and I'm still going. So basic, there's still time to learn basic music theory. I've just kind of started using the circle of fifths to come up with the next chord. Someone told me about the circle of fifths a long time ago. My piano teacher kind of hinted at it, that it exists, and it's this thing that helps you to write. But I've only recently, and I've got this one website which has a really good one. How does one make bro step growls? Ooh, we might get to that in this one. Maybe not proper growls. Yeah, not bro step, more like deep dubstep for this particular track that I'm writing right tonight. Oh, there's not much left of tonight. What's your 12? Thanks for following. I do enjoy oscillators with all the good harmonics. Since when do you do this? Since forever. I've been doing this. Dubstep build-ups. The D chord. D major. Or G. Something like that. C first sounded to me. Yeah, G. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a G, wasn't it? Yeah, there's that. It's mad how that works. I thought the harmonics came immediately after the fundamental, but they don't. They come an octave and a bit after, which is mad, isn't it? So it's a fifth. That's a fifth, that bin there, and then another octave. So that makes me wonder, what's this then? What's this one? This is the same, the fifth bin. Whoa, it's really high. It's an E. Okay, so it's C, C, G, and E in the third octave above it. I learned something today. Liszt knows music more than most. Liszt, Franz Liszt, the composer. Oscillators. I mean, these are oscillators, aren't they? They're oscillating. Let's see if we can use this sound. I might have to go. Baby's crying. I always want to see what FM sounds like. Oh. So far, I think everything I've done in here you can do in operator, because that's just operator in Ableton. It's basically that's only 3. You can have 3 generators tuned to each one of the harmonics, and then you can have a 4th one, which would be this one, that modulates the rest of them in the frequency. Because operator sounds like this. 7 app. This app is called Serum, and it runs in your sequencer of choice. Oh, let's add some C4. Mod to here, mod source. Get noise. Sounds bad. Right. You can have lots of fun with this anyway. So, there's our drum. No props. BTT PM. Right, you can change it. It says curve. Oh, you can't draw, can you? Anyway. The bottom. What of Serum in here? Draw a mirror. No. Sarah. Roll off. I'm making some deep dubstep. But I'm gonna have to go really soon. Sorry, Martin. I don't know what you mean, and I will have to come back to this because I just need to get in while I'm here. The sound that I'm after, which was as kind of a wub. Don't know how you change that noise. Ah, here we go. So, did you know you could do this? So you get a sine wave as the noise, and then you frequency modulate with the noise oscillator, the filter. Something I've been meaning to, finally got around to doing it. I don't know if it's usable, but it sounds dodgy. What if I sample render, resample to oscillator B. Here we go. Magic stuff starts happening. What? It's got artifacts. Oh, wait a minute. I could do a better job than that. Right. I think it samples a whole bar. So let's try again. Resample to. Oh wait, is it render? No, resample. And then pan through this. Yeah, okay, let's turn that off. So we've now got this new wave. But then it needs tidying up. See how it I mean, those are ending like in each cycle in the same place. So are those. It seems like it might not be a problem. But what you can do is morph it. Crossfade. I actually don't know how to do it. X-fade edges. Don't know which is the best one. X-fade edges. Grid size. Process. Remove. It's all these mad processes that you can do. Fade edges, grid size. Is there an undo before I press this? I'm sure there's an undo. Sure, yeah, there it is, right? So undo. Let's process fade edges. Let's change the sound a bit, but now they all snap to 0 at the end. Versus, it's a bit quieter. I think I'll stick with this one. It doesn't have the clicking, so I'm happy with it. But it might sound dodgy in a minute when I do even more FM. So let's go and get FM from here. Ooh, there we go, it's starting to sound a bit more Belgian bass. I'm happy with what's happening. Limiter. Yeah, I tend not to. I've got a limiter on the output, main output. Still coming in kind of quiet. In a safe zone. Right. Anyway, this is not like the bass I want to make. It's just I'm just messing around. It does. Yeah, I might even use a clipper on it. It controls it, doesn't it? Putting a limiter on. It tends to be something, if I do use one on the channel, per channel, I will use it later on when I'm mixing. I don't usually mix at this stage. But you know, I could whack an OTT on this and it would make everything sound good. But I like to get the sound as good as possible first and use OTT if I need to at the very last moment, and then it'll just, if it sounds good, it'll just make OTT will make it sound even better. Usually, but not always. Dubstep, and this is not the bass sound I want, but I just wanted to try a few things. I just started messing with wavetables, resampling and stuff inside Serum. 4/4 beat, yes, sausage pizza, 420. I have. The other night I say successfully, but I made a bass line track and I was really happy with it. Let's put an OTT. I love how Serum has its own OTT. You just press that button. It's an OTT. I guess it's like a limiter as well, isn't it? But multi-band. Let's do. triggering in the right place for some reason. I think I might just use this sound instead. Doesn't sound anything like the reference anymore, but that's okay. Maybe we can make it wob in and out of existence. High to low. Whoa. Ah. Is that not what it's doing now? Oh, you mean that? Do you mean the harmonics? So, like that. Like that, man. Brother Baz, how's it going? Not bad, thanks. How are you? It's my bedtime right now, actually. See, it was going. Right, let's do this one high to low as well. All day. That's a long one. All day. Smashed in TV and laptop up. Wait, why would you smash your TV up? And laptop? I mean, surely you need your laptop. Smash your TV up, yeah, but like. With one down in the sine wave. See, that sine wave, all that's doing is that's not actually doing anything. The sine wave is just doing the FM. On the TV, oh, that's good. When the left and right are both up. The blue one. Okay, the LFO. They should have coloured LFO, shouldn't it? I think Elements, one of that synth called Elements. Oh my god, right guys, I have to go, it's past 2. I've already been on an extra hour. I'm going to save this though. Bass. I'm going to have to, I'm trying to come up with categories for this, but like dubstep, deep, just put deep. It's not really a deep dubstep sound, but deep on filter, long Okay. How do you get a 1p jump up sound out of the serum? Good question. Good question, and one that I can't answer tonight. Let me just save this and then go to bed. So, what comes after the letter V? W. W. What begins with W? Wobble. No, let's try a different one. W. Wisp. Wisp. It's going to be wisps tonight. Wisp. And then we're going to bounce. Oh, let's just duplicate this a few times. Is that loop? No. It's never ending. Loop. Da da da. There we go. So we've got something to actually render. And what? So how do you get a jump up sound? Quick answer. Quick. I'm going to answer you really quick. You're right, Martin. You should enjoy your time, and don't worry about the rest. Top advice. I'll show you how I made Belgium bass. It's dead easy. Belgium jump up bass. Where is it? I should do. Do you know what I should do? Is sample pack, preset pack, shouldn't I? It's not the same as making it yourself, though. That's why I make my own, because I have fun. Right. Two OSCs is all you need. One's you've got your sine wave there, yeah. Oscillate. The other oscillator is a sine wave as well, pitched up 3 times. And why is it making that sound? Because LFO1 is modulating pitch. You don't want it modulating too far down. You can also make it go that way. But what's the other sound? So there is purely with this sine. And then some bright spark. Who was it on the live stream said add a comb filter? And it just adds this. It just is a comb is just like a really short series of delays essentially. So it just adds this extra thickness, twanginess. That's it, there's your Belgian laser. Well, something like it anyway. There's also other Belgian jump up sounds, which I haven't figured out yet. Yeah, sine waves. It's all sine waves. This one is a basic, which is like a mix between it goes from a sine wave to a triangle and then to a saw. So it's good for just getting just a few extra like harmonics without having to use a distortion to do it. Tough G, yeah, he sent it me to TerraPastel. I can rate it privately, but if you want to do it on a live stream, you'll have to wait. It's pretty random when I do it. Like last night I did it briefly, but I didn't tonight, and I probably won't next time. But I do it sometimes on live stream. But yeah, if you want to send it privately via TerraPastel@gmail or Insta, you can do that. Or even, well, you can sort of send tunes on TikTok, but you have to mess around with the links, don't you? Kyle, thanks for following. 4 hours for trying to spend out. That's one of the many like types of bass sound you can make that would be useful in jump up, isn't it? A laser. I've been trying to figure it out for a long time, and I never actually. I did the first attempt. I tried to use FM because it is frequency modulating a sine wave to make it sound like a laser, but FM didn't sound right for some reason. But when you use an LFO, set to 1/64th, because when it's not quite fast enough, that's too fast. 1/64th seems to be a nice feedback privately. Yes, send it, mate. I'll try and get around to it in the week, next few days. I can't promise the next day. Up tempo. Oh. D&B? Is that up tempo? Oh yeah, do it, mate. SoundCloud link, yeah. Right, thanks everyone for being on the live stream and chatting and stuff. It's been nice. But unfortunately, I have to call it because I've got to be up early in the morning. I've actually done 2 hours tonight, so it's not bad. Not bad at all. Good laser sound is pretty hard for little pew pews. Pew pew. I love lasers. Real lasers don't make sound, do they? I think if they did make a sound, it would just be explosion. Lasers should make a sound, like in the films. Pew pew. Right. Have a good evening, everyone, and good night. And it's Sunday. I can't believe it's Saturday tonight. It's Sunday. I've still got a whole Sunday to go. Anyway, thanks for watching and liking, sharing, and all that. See you hopefully again tomorrow. Have a good one.